I've answered this one before, but I'll do it again. She says, I know I ended it, but why won't you chase after me? Sam asked me to explain for his rock brain, and Carly is pretending not to want the attention. I very commonly illustrate the difference between the conscious and the subconscious mind. My understanding of how these interact is why I have a career. This is the first time I ever drew it. I drew a small pipe going between the subconscious and conscious minds of men, and a large one in between the women, subconscious and conscious. And she expects him to have these connected and he doesn't, and he's confused. It also works like this. They say they want X and you give them X and they don't want it. It also works like this. You can say a bunch of different things and then she reacts to one aspect of one of the things as if it's all you ever say. I still don't know what to call this. I called it smoothness on zones 2, and on zones 3 I called it smooth to save room. So in my opinion, women act more from the subconscious than men do. Many things in here. It's only 4 in there. 5. So if you are going to understand subconscious behavior in her, you have to understand it in you as well by doing a lot of this with your free time. The best example I ever gave of this is, have you ever had a friend say, let's go out for a beer, and then you said, nah, I don't want, I'm going to stay home, and he went, okay, bye. And then you thought, well, wait a minute, you're not even going to try? I'm not important to you? That is a quiet little thought you have in the back of your mind, and men tend to ignore those. When we do have those thoughts, they don't make it into the conscious mind as often because we have this little mind pipe. But for women, they do, and they kind of expect us to be that way too. So when men see this kind of behavior, they tend to just go, I would never act like this, it doesn't make sense. Except that it does make sense from the emotional mind, but you're ignoring it because you're not considering that to be a real part of your mind. So if you want to figure these things out, all you have to do is admit the feelings that you have. They don't have to be in charge. They don't even have to make sense. You just have to go, I had a feeling. And then you can recognize when other people have them, but don't say it. I think a lot of guys are worried about being called weak. Basically, I had a feeling is forbidden. But you don't even have to admit that you had a feeling. You just have to know that you did. This is a thought bubble. So when you have feelings in the lower brain, all you do is notice it and then admit it and maybe write it down in a journal. And then this part of your brain records it and now has power over feelings. And then you become able to know her better than she knows herself. So Sam, if you want to soften your rock brain, all you have to do is connect the rational man part to the feelings female part. It's not easy, but it is simple. Just do that a lot.